turn it in as Hamuli is blocking on him. But look at Henderson, turns it in. Not able to go outside, has to turn it in. And well done.
A little over 7 minutes to go in the first half. BYU has second and goal now on the 3-yard line as Drage brings the play in.
Yeah, they got to call timeout.
Yeah, the Cougars called time. They couldn't get the play underway in time. I'll give them time to set some things up now. 7 minutes left in the first half. It's Hawaii 21, Brigham Young 14, and there's timeout on the field. They made it all the way downfield, and now they're trying to punch it in. But it's second. It was first and goal from the 2. Now it's second and goal from the 3 as they lost a yard in the last one. So here are the Cougars trying to punch the football in now. Walsh with the ball, rolling to his right, looking, being chased, scrambling, throws, touchdown. Touchdown to Saluoni.
Walsh did a good job scrambling around. And watch Saluoni, whose father played at BYU. Terrence was recruited by CU and Arizona State, Stanford. He just works free, and Walsh is able to avoid the rush. And he puts it in there, and we're an extra point away from a tie game. That was a good drive. Helped out, by, as you mentioned, Jay, by that pass interference penalty that didn't have to be.
Not like Cox went right by Walsh, or he sidestepped him, and that's how he got free. And the extra point is good by Herrick, and so the Cougars tied at 21-21, and BYU scored by the pass now in 50 consecutive games. It's tied. This is the Blue and White Sports Network. And with the TD pass, the Cougars have now gone 50 consecutive games with a TD pass, which is an NCAA record. And here's Herrick's kick, about 2 yards into the end zone, no return.
Let's take a look at the touchdown one more time. Actually, this is pretty good coverage. They wanted to force something on the perimeter, point of attack. Nothing doing that way, so avoiding the rush. Walsh, who did a good job last year, same way again last week against New Mexico, finds Saluoni, and we're tied. Is this going to go down to the wire like last year, Jay?
I wouldn't be surprised the way they play. The drive, 75 yards, 6:19 to score. The Rainbows with the first down on their own 20-yard line then, and they have not been stopped the last 3 times they've had the ball. Here's Carter to throw on first down. Does throw. He's got his man. The ball, no, it's going to be incomplete, I believe. Is that right? Jasper had it. Now I think they've ruled he dropped it.
You know, I thought he caught the ball and then fumbled it out of bounds, but the official's a lot closer.
Masada was covering on the play for BYU.
That's interesting.
I thought he had it too.
Half sprint. They don't play fake at all. Carter put it right on the money. He's had a big day. He's made the correct reads. His stats won't be great, but he's made Gordon look sensational.
2nd and 10, Rainbows from the 20-yard line. Fakes. No, he gives it to the fullback. He's straightened up as he gets 3 yards into the secondary, and they really gang up on him.
Well, that Hughes was terrific. That's a pretty good linebacker, Brian Hughes. You mentioned he's a pretty good player at Ricks. Air Force wanted him.
A lot of players on the turf after that one. Carrying the ball was Calvin Melvin. You say Air Force did.
Oh, yeah. He's a pretty good hitter.
All right, here's a 3rd down call. Hawaii 1 of 2 so far. 3rd and 7. Gordon goes in motion to the right side. Carter back to pass. Good protection. Now it breaks down. The pass is tipped. It's incomplete. It was tipped at the line of scrimmage, or in fact in back of the line of scrimmage.
Looked like Hughes involved with that too.
Intended for Gordon.
Let's see if we can pick up.
There you go. It's a way to enjoy a ball game, have some fun, have a cool drink.
Watch Hughes in the middle as he really reacts.
Oh, it was just off Gordon's hands. It was overthrown.
Yeah.
So the Cougars stop him this time. And we'll have a punt.
Is this the first one?
I think so. No, second.
Oh,
here's the kick. It's taken by Drage. Or checks him by Johnson. Johnston to the 40. Back to the 45-yard line. Nice return by Johnson for BYU. He's the kick return of the punt returner. And the BYU team will get the football. Joe Shaw tackled it. 1st and 10, BYU from their own 44. It's a reverse, but well, he eludes one man. Now he's going to be hitting back of the line of scrimmage, and they gang up on him, and they'll lose yardage. They tried to run the reverse again, but Hawaii's been good at that. The man has stayed home, the defensive man.
And you know what you do, and Chris Smeeland really is a very good coach. Al Alapuli is supposed to trail. Well, Alapuli has a reputation of flying around and everything. He does his job, and he refuses to let the reverse go. So you're off schedule now. 2nd and 11. Well done. Team scheme there by Hawaii and Chris Smeeland.
2nd down from the 43 for BYU. The game tied at 21. Walsh bootlegging, rolling to the left, looking, and throws. Incomplete. Heimuli had to go off his fingertips, overthrown just a bit, but a catchable ball. Santa Cruz and Fa'avai covering.
Right on the money by Walsh. He does throw a very, very hard pass. He's a fastballer, and when you're running, a lot of times you run on your heels. As you look at Lavelle Edwards, remember when Lavelle was a single wing coach? He actually coached defense here. Of course, he gets a good job, I think, by Ken Schmidt. I like when Schmidt stunts. He stunts at the right time. Seems to have a great knack for that. But that's what Lavelle did for a living here. He was a defensive coordinator.
3rd and 11 for BYU. Rainbow's trying to put some pressure on. Walsh stepping up in the pocket, now dancing back, setting, spinning, still free. Can he get rid of it? He does, and it's caught by Heimuli. And Heimuli's down to the 47-yard line, but it's not nearly enough for the 1st down. Wow.
Do we have enough time for a replay? That thing took a day.
Now, Lake Cox is one of the first men he danced away from.
This is like
Darryl
somebody...
Green finally got there.
Jay, this is like flag football. Nobody can grab the flag. This is one of the plays that BYU scored on in the New Mexico game, just scrambling around.
That's a pass completion. Cougars have 4th down and 7 for a 1st down. So Boardman's in to kick from his own 32, but the field position could now favor BYU after this exchange. Here's Boardman's punt. Kicks it very high. Odom fumbles the football. I think he got it himself, however. He did. Oh, boy. What a break that would have been. Because he dropped the ball, but he dropped on the ball to keep it.
This Boardman, it's nose down when that football comes down. First time I've seen him, I kind of like him. Watch this, nose down.
Dennis Simmons and Andrew Nash were covering for BYU, and they almost got to the ball. We have 4 minutes left to go in the first half of the football game. At the conclusion of each game this season, Ryder Trucks will present the Ryder Move of the Game, the outstanding player individual achievement. Watch for the Ryder Move of the Game, brought to you by Ryder Truck Rental. We're there when you need us. 1st and 10, Rainbows from their own 17. Carter rides the ball, keeps it, pitches it back. It's a free football, and I think the Rainbows get it again. Boy, that was close to bouncing right into Mitchell's hands for BYU.
You're going to drop it every once in a while when you run option, and that's exactly what happens. Jasper alertly drops on it. Here it is. Jasper comes from the right side to the left, and they're just too close. And I think when they review that film, that's exactly what they will say. You know, Jay, they don't have an eligible receiver except a tackle on that side. And yet, and I've watched Air Force do this for years, and yet people still will cover the last man on the line of scrimmage.
Carter's got it again. There's the pitch, and it's fumbled again. And I think BYU has it this time. Herb, that's the 3rd consecutive play they fumbled the ball.
Yeah, and eventually you're going to get burned, and there's the burner.
Travis Hall got the fumble for BYU.
Well, once again, they're operating just a little too close for comfort and unable to pick it up. That's a good job by Herget stringing it out. And then Travis Hall falls on it.
Well, the Cougars with 3:15 then have a great opportunity to have the lead at halftime. The score is tied 21-21, and now BYU has the ball. 1st and 10 on the Rainbow 18-yard line.
Roger French is a coordinator. Norm Chow handles the quarterbacks.
And they work together.
Very nicely. Let's see what they come up with. See if they want to throw it or they go the inside handoff here. Might be inside handoff.
It is to Heimuli. Heimuli just busts his way inside the 15. Chow will be up in the press box, and he's on the headset with French on the sidelines, and that's the way they get the plays in. Jim Mansfield, the tackler.
The whole idea is to slow down the Hawaii rush. Over the years, they've really played sick 'em on you, and that's how you slow them down.
A gain of 4. It's 2nd and 6 for the Cougars on the Rainbow 15-yard line. And we have 2:45 to go in the first half, and it's a shotgun. They'll run it again. Same thing. Muller just picking his way forwards to the 11-yard line.
Getting a lot of work to it, Jay.
Blakeney tackled him.
Jay, I tell you, we got a lot of people straight up out
Blakeney
there.
On the tackle, a 3-yard gain.
Both sides.
3rd down, BYU.
Watch how many people are straight up. It's been a long half and it's warm. So Hemuli, who gets a start because of Willis's injury, they got to pick up 3.
So it's 3rd and 3 for BYU. They're now on the Hawaii 11-yard line. Morris goes in motion to the left side. And Caden Hall tries to get the first down yardage, but he didn't make it. He's just inside the 10. So BYU may have to go for a field goal. We'll see what the decision making will be. A minute 50 to go in the half.
George Tupuola just defeated the blocker at the point of attack, and he's been their leading tackler. Timeout for Walsh as they'll discuss this. There's Roger
the
French.
coach is tacking it over.
And what do you do here? You know, everybody likes to play quarterback. Do you take what would appear to be a cinch field goal right in front of the uprights? It's an extra point. Or do you go for the first down?
Well, they called timeout to talk it over. Last week, Herb down in New Mexico, Coach Edwards went for one on short yardage twice, and he said it's the 2 dumbest calls he's ever made.
Well, if 66,000 have their choice, they're going to go for it. But once again, the skipper's got to make the call.
Well, let's see. We do have Herrick on the field, so it's the field goal unit out there. In the WAC today, Air Force is at Colorado State, San Diego State at California. Utah and Utah State play in Salt Lake tonight. UTEP is at home against UNLV. Oregon State at Fresno State. Air Force at Colorado State, as we mentioned. Wyoming home against Northern Iowa. And New Mexico, who played very well last week, will be at TCU.
I wouldn't want to be going into Fresno State after they lost that big lead. I got a feeling Jim Sweeney's going to have them ready tonight. They lost a big lead at Baylor.
Be a lot of points scored there. So here's Herrick to try a field goal from the 17. It's the first field goal attempt of the year by the BYU team. Nowatzki holding the kick. Looks like it has the distance. It is good. So Joe Herrick kicks a field goal for BYU with a minute 38 to play in the first half. And Brigham Young takes the lead 24-21. Interesting. The Cougars led 7-0, 14-0. Then it went 14-7, 14-14, and 14-21 for Hawaii. Then BYU tied it, and with the field goal, now leads by 3. Earlier, Irv, you talked about Hawaii and their success coming to the mainland. I was just checking, and in the WAC, since they've been in the WAC, they've won 19 and lost 20 on the mainland. That's not too bad.
Oh, yeah. Everybody talks about what a problem it is going to Hawaii. How about the Bows coming over here as you look at Bob Wagner?
Well, at kickoff, that meant it was 8 a.m. as far as their body clocks are concerned.
Yeah. You know, that guy we were looking at, he knows a lot about nutrition, too. He's got a book out and everything. He's a pretty well-rounded guy.
Here's Herrick to kick off for Brigham Young. Gordon and Harding are the 2 deep men. The kick is going to go into the end zone, and it'll go out of the end zone. No return. The Rainbows will take over 1st and 10 on their own 20 with a minute and a half to play in the first half. And just keep in mind, the last 3 times they've handled the football, they fumbled it. They recovered the first 2, and then BYU got the 3rd, which led to that field goal.
And it's almost like a basketball team playing a zone, and you want to know where the shooter is. You got to find out where Gordon is. Gordon didn't touch it the last series, and Gordon has been the story in the first half.
First down, University of Hawaii. Carter spins around. He's still got it. There's the pitch back. And BYU thinks they have it, and I believe they do. Christensen comes out with the ball. That's the 4th fumble in the last 5 plays, and BYU's recovered 2 of them. Just over a minute to go. Wait a minute. As they're talking things over down here, maybe they're going to rule it that he was down, but I'll tell you, no, it's BYU's football. That ball went bouncing free before he went down.
Once again, not enough room to really operate, and they just have all kinds of problems. BYU could do some major damage and lay a real hurt on the Bows if they get in again.
BYU has no timeouts left in the first half, but they do have a minute to work with, and they're 37 yards away from the end zone.
And Eric Drage has not caught a football. You know that's not going to last.
Here's Walsh to throw on first down. Lots of time, does throw for the sidelines. It's complete. He's down, did not get out of bounds, but did get a first down, which will stop the clock. That was Tyler Anderson at the 24, and Darrell Green tackled him. Okay, we did lose power in the truck, and we're getting everything back up to speed here. We have 55 seconds left to go in the first half of the game. BYU with the ball with a first down. Shotgun alignment. Walsh back to throw. Has some time, does throw. He's got his man. He got away at the 10. Back into the middle of the field. He's going to score! That's Eric Drage. What did you say a minute ago?
It isn't going to last. The player, I saw this guy in 1988 in Arizona prep football. Eric Drage is sensational. He's had some running back experience, as you can see right here. He refuses to go down. You see the balance with the left hand, and Hawaii has shot itself in the foot with another fumble, and Eric Drage and John Walsh make him pay.
He's now caught a pass in 27 consecutive games, and that ties the school record for touchdown receptions, career touchdown receptions. As Herrick kicks the extra point home, and BYU suddenly has a 10-point lead, 31-21, with 41 seconds to go in a half.
That was really well done. They have really done a nice job on Drage, but you just can't hold him down forever. He is so tough. He's so feisty. I got a feeling he'd tickle a lion's backside. You think he would, Jay? Huh?
Well, I wouldn't put a lot of money on the lion. 3 Hawaii turnovers, and the Cougars have 17 points off the turnovers.
Well, Jay, the momentum was all in Hawaii's favor because of Gordon and Carter, and now it's totally turned around.
And here's Herrick to kick off again for BYU. Drives it deep again. Should be no return. Bounces into the end zone about 5 yards. Line of scrimmage for the Rainbows will be the 20 then, as they still have 40 seconds. They do have a timeout.
I'm not sure you want to do anything if you're Bob Wagner until you get him squared away at halftime. I think you give it to the fullback.
Cougars have now scored in 226 consecutive games, 50 consecutive with a TD pass. Stay with us at halftime as we introduce the newest member of our broadcast team, Holly Rowe. We'll have scores from around the country in the conference with the WAC Top 25 scoreboard. Here's a first down play, and Kreider's back to throw. He's hit just as he throws. It's got a man open, and it's caught up at the 30, trying to get out of bounds. I don't know if he made it or not. Anyway, be with us with Holly at halftime for that look at the WAC and the scoreboard.
What an effort by Gordon. He caught the ball about 7 yards inside the boundary and fights to get out of bounds to stop the clock. Here's Carter with the toss, and Gordon, who has scored the 3 touchdowns. Look at him fight and continue to fight, and he's able to carry Zada to the sideline.
It's a first down, 32 seconds to go now in the half. Carter rolling to his right, looking to pass again. Does throw, incomplete. Through the hands of the intended receiver and almost intercepted. That was Hirota. But Vic Charlton's momentum was going to his left. If he could have got back a step, he might have picked that one off.
There's a dig pattern, and Hirota, who's 6'1", 190, a senior, is of Japanese, Chinese, German, Portuguese, and Hawaiian ancestry, and just unable to come up with it.
2nd and 10, Rainbows from their own 34. Carter with 1 setback. Fakes to the, no, he gave it to that man. Gave it to his fullback, nothing to it. This time, Greg Pitts and Travis Hall for BYU stop him.
Pitt's a pretty good football player. Took through high school. Gary Walker's coach. He had a big game against Hawaii last year in the island.
They use a timeout here.
Go Cougars!
Well, the Rainbows called timeout with 21 seconds to go in the half. Okay, number 5 is Tupu Alualu. He's a sophomore out of Honolulu. Alualu? See, I think, oh, I had him down with a different number, so that's a number change. He's 215-pound sophomore who did play a little bit in their game last week. Alualu. Third down conversions in the game, as you see on the screen. And here is a third down call for the Rainbows. And it's Carter to pass. They're coming after him. Sidestep one man, and they down him at the 30-yard line.
Excuse me, Jay. If you got a timeout, you want to use it and try and block the punt.
I don't think they have one.
Well, that was the last play then of the half.
Well, that was Brian Hughes coming through like a shot out of a gun and knocked him off balance. And there, time will run out and end the first half. So at halftime, the Cougars, after being down 21-14, come back to take a halftime lead of 31-21. Stabile will kick off for the University of Hawaii as BYU is elected to receive to open the second half. Here's the kick, kind of a line drive kick, and it'll carry all the way out of the end zone. Good strong leg. So BYU will take over 1st and 10 on their own 20 as we open the third quarter of this football game. Cougars injured players, a couple of them are back. Kalen Hall played pretty well in the first half, as Irv pointed out. Jamal Willis is not suited up for the game. We watched at halftime. He does have his jersey on over there, but not his pads.
Here's what John Walsh did in the first half.
Game against New Mexico, he passed for 384 yards. But then the first half, they ran the ball.
Well, they wanted to slow that rush down, Jay. Let's see if they've established it now and they want to throw it.
1st and 10 from the 20. They'll run it on first down. That's Hamuli going to the outside. He's got 10. He's got 15 yards. He just sliced, looked off the left, looked for an opening, found it, and ran for 15. And Junior Favai tackled him.
Watch Mike Empey, number 66. Empey is able to get something going right here as he is the lead blocker. There's Empey. And Hamuli has run this play a lot. Well done.
He ran for 46 yards in the first half and some key yards too. 1st and 10 BYU on their own 35-yard line, leading by 10 points right now. Same play, only it's Kalen Hall who carries it. He's hit hard right at the line of scrimmage.
That's Williams, and I tell you what, nobody blocked him, and he just has a piece of cake. Sometimes you guess right, sometimes you guess wrong. In this case, he guesses right on the stunt.
No gain, no loss. It's 2nd and 10 Cougars on their own 35. We're right at the start of the third quarter. BYU and Hawaii in Provo. Cougars at Colorado State next week. The Rainbows will be at home against Kent State in a non-league game. Walsh to pass, completes it to the 40-yard line. That's a 5-yard gain. It'll bring up third. Tyler Anderson caught it.
Good strong arm by Walsh as he just takes it back to his right ear and lets it go.
Demetrius Henderson is the tackler. BYU with a 3rd and 5.
You know, consider this, Jay. Walsh holds a California State high school passing record. You know how many great quarterbacks have come out of that state? It's amazing. I mean, he really has a cannon. See if they run the drag pattern here.
He's back to throw. Steps up, bounces around, fakes, floats one downfield, and it is incomplete.
Hamuli came across the middle, and Walsh thought he was going to continue with his route. So they'll be forced to punt it away. A big series for Hawaii. They needed to hold in that situation, get the football back and reestablish that option game.
Jim Mansfield put the pressure on. So BYU does have Boardman in to kick, and he did well the first half of the game. See, he averaged, with his punts, he averaged 46 yards a punt. His long one was 57. He's a freshman out of Kanab, Utah. He's not only a pretty good athlete, he was a student leader. Unitoa is the deep snapper. The ball is right to him. Blocked. It's blocked by Hawaii. It's rolling towards the end zone. It's still rolling towards the end zone. It's rolling into the end zone. And who's got it? Hawaii for a touchdown. Oh boy, do they do that successfully through the years.
It's unbelievable how they work on their special teams. Another big turnaround in this game. Hawaii had to do something very positive. They get the block and then they pursue it, pick it up. Reminds you of the New Orleans Saints. Boardman wasn't particularly slow getting it off. See if we can pick up another.
Lindsey Yao is the one who blocked it.
Well, he does a great job. And of course, BYU hustling back there, hoping to get a safety rather than a touchdown. And it just doesn't happen. So, boy, we got ourselves another horse race. Well done.
Suddenly it's 31-27. And we'll have the extra point attempt by Carlton Oswald, who hasn't missed one today. He's 4-5 in the year. And his kick is good. So with 12:50 to go in the third quarter, it's now BYU by 3, 31-28. Brigham Young University will receive for the second time here in the second half. First time forced to punt, and it was blocked, and a TD is the result.
Lindsey Yao, junior college transfer, did a great job.
Kowalski takes it about 8 yards into the end zone. They will not try a return. So Brigham Young will start at the 20 again. They started there to open this period. Got a good run from Haymuli on the first one. And then were slowed down. Had to punt it. Boardman's punt was blocked. It was into the end zone. And as Irv pointed out, Yao recovered, or he blocked it. It was recovered in the end zone for a touchdown.
Be interesting to see if we can pick up what happens here. If there's a breakdown, if it's just a little slow. Yao just looks like he shot from guns through there. And boy, look at him pursue it. Boardman had a shot at it, but it just doesn't happen. And away on the board. We're back live.
And Kalen Hall carries. He's into the secondary. Bounces his way forward for close to 9 yards. Nice run by Kalen Hall. Ed Siose is the tackler.
And he looked like he had fresh legs sitting out at halftime. That's the best burst he's had since the first period. As you look at Kalen's numbers.
Irv, here they're going to the no-huddle offense.
Yeah, and this is good because it keeps Hawaii from changing up their defense.
2nd and 1 for BYU from the 29.
Boy, big gap on the left side.
Haymuli goes in motion. Kalen Hall carries it. Bumps over the middle for the first down. He's to the 34-yard line. They did this last year against UCLA right here and turned the game around.
Yep, got back into it. That's a game Walsh got hurt and Herring went down.
Lee Pule was the tackler.
Here it is off the left side.
Again, the no huddle. 1st and 10 from the 33. Walsh to throw, does throw, completes it on the sidelines to Eric Drake. He slipped away. He's to the 45 and will be pulled down at the 48-yard line. You don't just arm tackle him.
I think the crowd appreciates this guy as much as anybody who's ever played here because he just refuses to go down.
Carlos Anderson had him first of all, but he slipped away, and then Vic Santa Cruz came up and got the tackle. Hawaii also
First
illegal
down.
substitution rule, and with this no-huddle offense, it does cause you some problems on defense. First down BYU. The Cougars will refuse the penalty because they got the good game from Drage. And it's 1st and 10 BYU on the Cougar 48-yard line. BYU ahead 31-28. Hawaii may
Free
have been
play.
outside, yeah. It's Haymuli. Haymuli is close to 5, but the flag went down, and I think they drew the Rainbows offsides. Li'i along with Fa'umuli in on the stop, and there's the signal.
You know, the question might be, why do you continue to run that play? Because Hawaii is really charging high. It's easy to trap them, and they've had a lot of success, picked up a lot of yardage.
Offside, defense, 5 yards, replay first down.
1st and 5 for Brigham Young then, so the Cougars moving the ball quite effectively at this point, and they're doing it with the no-huddle offense. They're now on the Rainbow 47-yard line where it is 1st and 5. Delayed handoff to Kalen Hall. Kalen into the secondary. He's inside the 45-yard line. Not a lot of gain.
But you know what, Jay? That's the best call Walsh has had today. He changed it at the line of scrimmage, ran at the bubble. There wasn't anybody. Watch Hawaii's right side. Well, I don't think you can from this angle, but I mean, there's nothing but daylight because there isn't a down lineman, and the backer was about 4 yards off the line of scrimmage. Good effort.
Cox and Blakely made the stop, a 3-yard gain. 2nd and 2. Walsh to throw. Does throw. He's got the first down. It's completed to over the sidelines. Fumble. Well, the ball has been blown dead, so it's going to be on the 34-yard line. Pass complete that time to Doman.
Complete to Drage.
They're setting up the hitch and go, or the chair, whatever your terminology is. They've thrown this thing to Drage, now to Doman, and pretty soon you're going to see him hitch and then go.
Another first down for BYU. The Cougars are now on the Rainbow's 34-yard line. Comes Drage in motion. Still no huddle offense. They'll run it. Hey Mooley, this time they're waiting for him and they drop it for a loss.
Tackle by Kobe Stewart, a 3-yard loss.
3-yard loss to Hey Mooley.
Second down.
Kobe Stewart
13.
got to it.
Kobe played that very effectively. They've gone to the well a lot with that play.
3-yard loss. It's back on the 37-yard line now. 2nd and 13 out of the shotgun. Walsh to throw. Has some time. Does throw. Bad pass. Threw it out of bounds that time. He had Doman over there, but missed it.
And there was separation between Doman and Henderson. And Walsh just doesn't connect. They'll go with a no huddle, even though the clock is stopped because of the incomplete pass.
So it's 3rd and 13 for BYU. The Cougars are ahead 31-28 in the 3rd quarter. Again, the shotgun. Snap. Waiting. Scrambling. Rolling to his right. Looking. Gets away. Now cannot get away. They drop him for a loss. Couldn't find anybody that time.
That was a coverage sack. That was great man-on-man coverage.
Covering Tupuola and Ellis.
There wasn't anywhere to go. That's a terrific job by the Bow secondary. Scrambles around. Now, he's done this before. You got a touchdown out of this in the first half, but nothing doing. He runs out of his friends.
Well, had a man in back of him that time. Here's Boardman to punt from the 39-yard line. Remember last time it was blocked for a touchdown. Narrowed a 10-point lead to a 3-pointer. No rush this time. Boardman kicks it very, very high. Fair catch, the signal, but they'll let it bounce. The Cougars try to stop it before it went in the end zone. Nice coverage by BYU. It'll be stopped on the 1-yard line for the Cougars. TD Beagle. So there's timeout on the field with 9:20 to go in the 3rd period. This is the Blue and White Sports Network. Well, BYU's backed them back to the goal line now with that fine punt and the coverage. So it's 1st and 10 on the half-yard line off Hawaii. They're running out of their own end zone. They'll go for it on the 1st down with the quarterback Carter carrying himself, and he gains 2 or 3. Brian Hughes, the tackler.
Watch T.D. Beagle, the job that he does here. His brother Rocky played for the Cougars. That's just a terrific effort there. Here's where the crowd can really help you. When you got them socked in, the people on the south side in that end zone can really help you.
2nd and 7 for the Rainbows from their own 3-yard line. They'll run it up the middle and they'll gain just a couple of yards. So they're just trying to get a little maneuvering room. Now they face 3rd down and they'll have to make a decision. Calvin Melvin carried and Lenny Gomes and Greg Pitts tackled him.
You know, and here's the decision you're talking about, Jay. They fumbled the option 4 times near the end of the half. They haven't run an option yet because